Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for part 2 of our review and tutorial for the ATR 72600 by Asobo for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We have already gone through the exterior walk around and also took a look at the cabin and done our initial cockpit setup or flow in that matter. And now we're going to get into the setting up of the FMS and then getting you through the checklist, helping you to understand how they work with the system pages and getting you out of here to go on into Nassau. So join us as we get this airplane in the air and get on the way now. So join us as we depart South Florida, heading on into the Bahamas right after the intro.
Up here the sunlight shimmers on the blue across the tropic skies of the
Alright guys, welcome back. Once again, the captain seat of the ATR 72600. And we left off at the FMS. So we're gonna do some, gonna show you guys how this actually works, and obviously stay tuned. I do have some footage for that as well. So I'll be cutting to that here. So let's go and let me show you guys what we actually do. Okay.
So FMS for the ATR 72600. So when it comes on, it looks like this. So you start from left to right. So start at position, take the GPS position, it turns amber, and you confirm it by hitting sensor and it turns green, you hit return, go to nav data, you're just confirming the standard data, the number, the expiration date, the 4th of January 2017, and I don't know what the rest of these are for. Okay, so you go 1, 2. Now you would think you would go 3, but the way they taught us is 1, 2, over here. Units, just confirming magnetic. Which heading are you going to be using? Magnetic or true? Altitude in feet or meters? Distance in nautical miles. Everything else here is standard temperature, Celsius and pounds. We use here in the Bahamas with barrel in inches. And return.
Alright, 221 down,
Perfect.
1318. I go 24.
Sorry for that. Okay, so I think I missed something. Wait. Okay, so I did this, units. Now I go back up here. So wait. Okay, so I'm sorry with that. Okay, so the weight is taken from the iPad. So we got zero fuel weight of 37,257. So we'll go 37,257. Zero fuel. All right, now fuel on board. Now I have the screen up here to show that we have 2800 and 2790, so that is 5590. So I type in 5590. I put the fuel on board there. So gross weight is going to be 42,847. Reserve fuel is going to be, let me see, reserve is 8,018, 20. Okay, 2300 is our reserve. Now, takeoff CG, also taken from the iPad. So our takeoff CG is going to be 26.3. So now type in 26.3. Takeoff CG. It gives you the trim, 1.2. And I will set the trim now to 1.2. Oh, alright, 1.2. Okay, now we go to return. So we did 1, 2, 3. Wait. Now perfect net. Cruising altitude is going to be 12,000. So I'm going to set 12,000 in the box. Cruising altitude. Cruise mode, you can go max or you could go long range. It depends on what the flight plan says. Ours is going to be max today. alternate and cruising altitude. So our return is going to be back to Nassau. So MYNN slash cruising altitude is going to be 1,000. Put that right here. Good. Return. Now we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we go flight plan in it. Okay, it's going to be route. Okay, so we're going to go, our ID is BHS. Flight number is 329. Flight. Hey!
So, obviously, first and foremost, we're going to go to FMC1. All right, so this is our initialization page. Well, not really the initialization, but this is our cover page. Just pretty much tells us if the database is within limits, which, yikes, it is not.
That is not correct.
All right, 2014. Something's not right there. But everything else is saying okay, right? Okay, yeah. We'll assume this is 2026, all right? So we're going to go to init. Now, how we were taught, you come down, you shoot across. You come down, you shoot across. That's how you actually set up the FMS. So we're going to start from the top left. We're going to start with position init. Obviously, we would check these things, make sure the date is right, the time is right. This is all good, okay? All right, and the data doesn't have a date here, so this is, I don't know why, I don't know, I don't know, I do not know what's going on here. But anyway, let's go position init. If the departures procedures don't show up, then we know we have a problem, right? All right, so position init. Always take the GPS position, click it, it turns yellow. Sensor init, that's almost like our, well, this is the execute button, but this will confirm it. It'll go green, we hit return. All right, good. We go to nav data. Now, this is just where you would switch through nav databases if you had a, as you can see, you see current, you see previous. You would be able to switch databases here. If the database was currently being used outdated, you will switch to the, not allowed anyway. Yeah, so you would switch to the other one, okay? This is what this page is for, and there's some other things here, but you don't have to get yourself concerned with too much of the other stuff here, okay? All right, so we go back. So we've gone here. Now we go over to units. Straightforward, magnetic versus true, feet versus meters. We're using the imperial system over here. Nautical miles, all of this stuff we can't change. Celsius versus Fahrenheit, kilograms versus pounds, using pounds and inches versus pascals. All right, good. So that page looks good as well. Okay, so that was unit. So now we're going to come this side now. So we're going to go weight. Okay, so I believe this weight is from the I believe it's from the iPad, but let's just see. Payload. Alright, so 0 weight 31056. 31056 with 5,002 pounds on the fuel. Gross weight is 36058. Gross weight is 36058. There it is. Alright, good. So we would actually put the numbers in manually, especially once you've already gotten the numbers, you would put these in manually, right? All right, so we're assuming we got the numbers. We used the the iPad. We kind of cheated a bit, but that's fine. All right, also our takeoff CFG, we'd confirm that, and then that would make us set our trim for takeoff. So we're gonna go up here. Okay, and it's already set to 1.3. Okay, it automatically does that for us. All right, there's nothing else here to do on this page, so we're gonna hit return. All right, so we've done weight. Now we're gonna do performance in it. Okay, cruising altitude. So going to Nassau, this airplane is a dog. It does not climb very quickly. So let's call it, man, I wanted to go 17, but you know what? Let's stop at 15. 15,000 is final. All right, alternate and cruise. So alternate's gonna be MYGF. If you're flying into the Bahamas, that would be the only other alternate that you could get. And we're going to do that at, let's say, 12,000 feet. All right, good. Going to hit return. And we go flight plan in it. So we've already done weight. We've done perf in it. Now we bounce over here to the left side, right? So flight plan in it. All right, so we're going to go route. All right, so we're going to be UP230. It's going to be from KMIA to MYONN. All right, so we're gonna execute. All right, good. Now, this obviously is not our entire flight plan, so we're gonna set it up. So to get to our departures page, we're gonna click on the airport itself. It's Miami. So we're gonna take off 8 right. It's going to be the CLAD 2 departure via Ray J, and we're gonna execute. Okay, good. So we got runway 8 right, then intercept Jamba, Klobla, Clad, Elki, and Ray J. And then after Ray J, it's pretty much one waypoint after that, and that would be ZQA. And then we can hit clear to clear the discontinuity, and we're gonna hit execute. There we go. That tells us what our estimated fuel on board for our arrival is. All right, good. Okay, so I don't know. Doesn't seem like the secondary flight plan is doing what it's supposed to do. You know what? I think now it's a good time to cut away to the real FMS, and we'll see how I did it there. Alright, now that we're back, we can get this airplane prepared for startup. Okay, so what we're gonna do is gonna hit our go around buttons first. Alright, so we got our go around buttons hit there, and we're gonna go ahead and set our heading to 1096, I believe. Sometime today. Alright, good. Initial altitude is gonna be 5,000. That's for the SID. Alright, good. And that's all set. So we'll hit heading, and we'll arm nav. LNAV is armed. Good. So when we take off on the SID, we should be good to go. Okay, now let's get to some checklists. Now, let me show you guys how that's supposed to be done. You want to bring up your page, any system page, it doesn't matter. Okay, system pages are brought up. Actually, let me bring it up on both sides. All right, good. System pages are brought up. Now, look what page it's on. Good. So now you watch what's going to happen. All right, let's go final cockpit preparation checklist. So this is a shortcut. If you click down here, and if you want to know where the shortcuts are, it is listed. You have to go over here to the iPad, and if you go to options, right here, display, click spot, help. There we go. All right, so it tells you where you can click to make the screen work. All right, and this is helpful, especially because you don't want to be moving here to this item here, and then you got to go back and forth to here, and it's just a bit much, especially in the sim. So it's good that they found a way to actually get you to do this right in the front of you. So let's go ahead. So final cockpit preparation checks. So let's go. All right. So, okay, now it says park and brake, engage. All right. So we got park and brake, engage is on, right? Altimeters. All right. So we got 3011 is set. Landing elevation. Well, we can't enter anything here, so that sucks. FMS com nav, we'll consider that set for now. Fuel quantity imbalance, you guys see how it switched to the fuel page? That's how you want it to work. All right. Engine fuel use is right here. I don't know why it has 30 pounds aside that was used. Anyway, we're going to hit the reset button here. That's going to bring them to 0. Memo panel is right here. No device seatbelt sign. And power management is TO. All right. Final cockpit preparation checklist complete. All right. Good. Now, before propeller rotation. Now, this checklist is done after you start the engine in hotel mode. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead now and start the engine in hotel mode. So on the first part, we made sure that we engage the aux hydraulic pump so that we can get the prop brake on. Now we're going to go ahead and start the engine. So it's very simple pretty much. You're going to go to A or B. All right, what we do is we alternate the starts. So depending on if you use A to go to Nassau, you'd use B if you had to come back, blah, blah, blah. All right, so here we go. We're going to go start. All right, we're looking for N2 of, I think, 13%. Or NH, sorry, NH of about 13%. All right, there we go. We're almost there, 13. And we're going to go here. And we're going to go back here. All right, there you see the heat, and the propeller is not spinning. Let's go back to the front. All right, so there's your hot start, and it went back. All right, and guys, please don't forget, once the engine has started, uh-oh, why is the temperature still increasing? Whoa, okay, hang on. All right, so anyway, I was gonna tell you guys, make sure your engine goes to engines off start abort. One of the main reasons is because the battery technically at this time is discharging. Anytime you see the arrows pointing, it's telling you that the battery is sending power to the essentials and to the bus system. So make sure you turn the engine to off start abort. All right, looks like, whoa, that temperature is crazy. Okay, so, oh man, another issue with this airplane is this would have already triggered the master warning. This would have triggered either a NAC overheat or nacelle overheat situation. And so anyway, let's see if we release the propeller, if that'll help us out, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go before propeller rotation. So we're gonna run the flow. So we're gonna go beacon on. We don't need the external power anymore. We can turn that off. And let's go ahead and release the propeller. And this is a crazy thing about this prop brake. I just hate this design. Okay, so here we go. So we got the beacon on. All right, so before propeller rotation, so we got CDLS. That's the cockpit door locking system. All right, that's here behind the seat. All right, there we go. So it's on. All right, sorry about flying all over the place. FMS takeoff data. All right, so we'll just confirm the data. It's gonna go green, and we're gonna hit our speed select to get our purple bulbs for the FMS. There we go, right there. Trims. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3 set. Tail prop. I don't think it's outside. Is it? Oh, I probably got to close this first. Yeah, no, tail prop is not outside. All right, let's remove the ground power. Let's remove the chocks. All right, so tail prop is on board. Doors. You see I switched to the doors page, so you can confirm. All right, doors are all closed. And seat belts, they are on. And beacon. Turned the beacon on a little while ago. All right, so beacon is on. All right, and before propeller rotation checklist complete. All right, so let's release this prop and let's see if that brings the temperature down. Now, like I said, if you have anything more than a 5-knot tailwind, you could get these over temperature situations, okay? And this is why this prop brake, in my opinion, don't make any sense, none at all. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Now, we still have no hydraulic pressure, right? And the reason for that is the hydraulic system is controlled by AC. AC only comes on when the condition lever is moved to the auto position. All right, that powers the AC while, which in turn powers the hydraulic system. So we still got to hit the aux pump button first. We're gonna look up quick. All right, we got prop brake is ready. We're gonna release it. We're gonna go to our propeller. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Now, as soon as we release the prop, we come back. Let's come back to the front. Yeah, look at that temperature drop. Now, I tell you what, in real life, it doesn't work like that. Okay? If you release the propeller, remember, when you release the propeller in feather, it's not driving any of the cool air back. It is just windmilling, right? So not until you move the propeller to the auto position. Now we're looking for single channel. After that, we should get low pitch. Good. And then we go with the after start. We go with the after start procedure. So there's plenty procedures. So after start procedure. So we're gonna go wing light off. We're gonna go heating on. We're gonna hit the test button for the anti-skid. You're gonna see it right here, FFF. And then you're gonna see NNN if it's a good test. There it is. And we're gonna go flap 15. There we go. All right, so that drives the airflow back. Okay, good. Now, what we have to do now is we now have to go ahead and start the next engine. Okay, so we're already in the start phase, so there's actually no other checklist to run, right? The propeller rotation is the only thing we ran before start. All right, so let's run engine number, let's close the prop brake down. All right, let's go start A, and we're gonna start engine 1. There we go. Looking for 13% NH, 11, 12, 13, we're going to introduce the fuel to the feather position. Watching the ITT. There's your start limit in red with the red line. Oil pressures coming up. Temperatures in the green. Well, that's fuel temperature. This is the regular. This is engine temperature. Okay, it rolled back. There we go. Now remember, once again, don't forget to come back to your switch and turn it to off start abort. That will remove the ITTs from the engine gauge right here, okay? Alright, now once that's done, we get them to remove the chocks. I think I already did that. And we're going to go now next propeller to auto. Alright, we got low pitch. We had single channel. And then now low pitch. Alright, stabilized. Okay, now we're going to run before taxi. Alright, FWS, flight warning system, recall. So recall button is right here. So you're going to hit recall. Nothing comes up. It's all clear. Cockpit comm hatch is closed. That's over here. Condition levels 1 and 2 auto. Anti-icing is as required. TRU. Oh yeah, that is on and checked. Okay, yeah, that's something they added since I came off the ATR.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That this comes on, you turn this on after. That's an after start flow. So I completely forgot about that.
Don't call him stupid, please. Don't call him stupid.
Stupid!
All right, anti-skid test was already tested. Flap 15 and nose wheel steering, which is over here, is on. All right, and before taxi checks complete. All right, now here's what happens. Keep looking at these screens for a second. We're going to release the brake. We're going to go to the emergency brake, right? You see the next checklist automatically comes up, the taxi checks. That's how it's supposed to work. Okay, so we're going to go taxi light on. And as you can see, we move it to the emergency position. We want to make sure that the brakes are still holding. Okay, once the brakes are still holding, then we fully release. All right, and then we go taxi checks, right? So taxi checks, we got taxi light on, brakes. Okay, there we go. So we go check left and then check right. FGC and FMA, that would be this area. We got a low bank, LNAV, blue, and go around, flight director to the left. And takeoff config test. Okay, so let's perform that. That is right here. All right, and you see it showing up right. Now let me show you guys that again. All right, do you guys see it's showing up right above the flap? Let me do it one more time. There it is, right above the flap. You guys see that? Takeoff config test. Okay. All right, good. And that is the end of our taxi checks. Okay, so let's get you guys to the runway, because we've been here long enough. Now, captain screen system page goes on doors, while the FO page goes on hydraulics, right? So we're gonna go hydraulic panel on his or her side. There we go. That's how you should be taxiing out. Okay? All right, let's taxi to 8 left. Gems, after 2 hours of taxiing, we finally made it to runway 8 right. And we're gonna run the before takeoff checks. So here we go. Alright, so for takeoff, we got takeoff briefing. Okay.
Real quick, left seat departure or only 8 right via the clad departure. 5,000 is going to be the initial out. Flight of, 15,000. 10 minutes after departure. A code of 5446 and departures on the 124.6. And always prior to 89 will the boat, that in boat it follows idles versus quiet maintained action control. In order to stop it when we set the park and brake and brake fork and wait for instructions, you will count an error when you see it and call reverse status and advise ATC of the port and west bring the airplane to stop, and I set the park and brake key. But to assist you and enable Jackson procedures, above 80, but prior to B1, ordering for the majors, Indian fire pale loss of operational control. Anything we feel is unsafe, action to the same add, 1 will consider in-flight emergency, take it in the air, run any checklist member associated at or above 400 feet. Only action below 400 feet would be putting the gear up, and if we got negative auto feather, and is to go ahead and bring the engine. Identify the engine, and Bill, bring the engine to feather as quickly as possible. Continue climb to safe altitude, get the aircraft cleaned up, remaining members associated. The max landing weight, turn back to Miami Gate, weight hat immediately. And are there any questions? No? Okay.
That's got to be the best part I've ever seen. So it would seem.
Takeoff briefing is complete. Alright, gust lock. Alright, so we're gonna release the gust lock. That's not the gust lock. That's the gust lock. Alright, we're gonna do our flight control check. Let me bring that up. Alright, left, back, up. Sorry, rudder is checked. Alright, flight controls, transponder TCAS. So we come here, and this, surveillance. We're gonna go on. TCAS is on auto, so that's all good. Boost, we don't have the boost function, at least not for Bahamas aircraft, that is for sure. Airflow is normal, that is right here. There's a button, let me show you guys where that button is. Right here, so usually it's warm, so we usually run this on high, but it must be turned off for takeoff. Alright, what else we got? That's to the line. Okay, stand by below the line. Let's get back to the seat. Alright, we clear to line up and wait. Runway 8 left. Bahamas 230. We'll leave the landing lights off. We'll turn everything else on. Let's release the brake. Alright, cabin crew. Cabin crew is advised. Engine bleed. Okay, so we're going to go engine bleed. We're going to go packs and bleeds off. So here we go. So we're going to go packs off, bleeds off. Alright, left side is clear. Right side is clear. Alright, we go, external lights are on, lateral flight director bar is center, and a rudder cam. So we would just move the rudder trim, left, right is centered. And for takeoff checks, complete. Alright, now we could go to our navigation display here, get the ND for the co-pilot side. Alright people, let's clear this screen out. So let's see, clear. Right there. Good. So screen is cleared. Alright, so here we're gonna go. We're gonna go right to the notch. Oh, too far. Notch. Alright. And Bahamas 220. We're cleared for takeoff. Alright, brakes release. And here we go. Pause the brake and go gear up. Alright. And we're gonna go IAS. LNAV is captured. why it's bringing me back down here, I do not know. But anyway, alright, so we're at 1,000. We're going to retract the flaps. And we're going to go climb thrust. There we go. So speed goes to 170, magenta. I don't know why that flight director is doing that. Let's see. Why is that so low when it should be up? Director Jamba. Director Jamba, we're gonna go execute. And I don't understand why it, why is it doing that?
My son's a failure!
Why is it not giving me an indication to climb? It's like the flight director isn't doing what it's supposed to do. What in the world? Oh no. I do not know what's happening there. Alright, let me focus on some of the other stuff. Alright, taxi lights off. Wing light, turn that off now too. Oh, shoot, people burning up. Alright, bleeds on, packs on. Okay, yeah, I don't understand why this is happening. Alright, let's set 50. You know what, let's go flight director off. Alright, and let's go flight director, let's hit Toga, just to see. Actually, no, let's just go flight director on. Let's go IS nav. Okay, now it looks like it wants to, well, is it though? Let me see, nav, LNav, let's go autopilot. I don't see, oh, pitch mode, let's go IS mode.
2,000 years later.
Alright, so we finally got it going. Miami Beach. Okay. Alright, let's go after takeoff checks because we spent enough time. Alright, landing gears up, flaps up, power management is climb. Engine bleeds they're on. Taxi takeoff light is off. And to the line is complete, and this will be above 10,000 foot is the altimeters. So we'll come back, we'll hold to that page. Right now, things are looking pretty good. Alright, now they say weather is on standby. Let's turn that on. Alright, so we're gonna go all the way up to 15. All the way up to 15,000. Alright.
tropics.